Right. I wanted to create as much competition in the offensive line as we could get. Crew's a guy that originally out of high school from Alabama, signed with Southern Miss, was there for a year, transferred out to Jones Junior College. He's a big human being. He's 6'6", 6'7". Really enjoyed his parents. I appreciate the discipline and the parental guidance that he's grown up with. For us, it was a good fit for us. He'll compete at that tackle spot. I was able to watch him practice in person. Steve Buckley, his head junior college coach, I think a lot of. He gives him great recommendation, and then what I saw on my personal evaluation, he'll come in and give us immediate help at one of those tackle positions on our offensive line. We made a particular effort this recruiting class to get speed at the wide receiver position, and didn't care where we had to go to get that speed. And we've got big guys, we've got some physical guys, but we want Jalen Moore will be a senior this upcoming year, one of our our most explosive wide receiver. So Kevin's a guy from Booker T, great tradition high school, a lot of great players that come out of that Miami area. And so we were able to go get him. He'd never been to, obviously, to West Tennessee before, but we've had some other players from that Miami area in the last 4 or 5 years, and he felt comfortable with that. But he'll give us legitimate speed at the wide receiver position, going forward to replace, some guys that'll be graduating soon. Reed's a guy that I'd seen for the last couple of years at some different camps in the summer. Another coach's kid in this class, or several coaches' kids. That's important to me. This is a long process. This is a 4 or 5 year deal. This is a commitment. You got to find guys that love football, and I've got boys that grow, my own personal sons that are in a house that understand the discipline and the what football, the lessons it can teach you, and Reed's a kid that knows that. We're going to play him at the center position. He's a high school kid that will be coming out, graduating early. He'll be rolling here in January, and it's been several years since we've signed a true center out of high school, and we think Reed's going to be able to do that for us. And his dad's the head football coach at Northeast Community College and had a great collegiate background and himself, so we like the fit that Reed brings to our program. With Dresser's injury and the uncertainty of that, we felt like that we had to add some depth to that position, all right? But with Wyatt, we not only were able to find some depth, we think, the best quarterback available for us. As you looked at several guys on tape, he kept jumping out to me and was very flattered that he was still available for us. And flew him in here from California, and just a good fit. His parents were really upfront and honest with us about what how he was raised and what his goals and dreams are, and luckily we were able to fit that. But he's a guy probably similar to Troy Cook, that's is a 6-foot guy but can throw from a lot of different arm angles. He's just kind of he may not be the fastest guy, but he's elusive and he extends plays and he can throw on rhythm and he can throw from different arm slots. And so this spring, once he learns the offense, I'm excited to watch him play and compete at the quarterback position. Brandon's a guy that we think can play multiple positions on the offensive line. We think we'll start him at the tackle positions, but I think he can play, like I said, 2 and 3 positions on the offensive line. Very smart, very athletic. There might be a 6'5" tackle out there, but he's more of a 6'3" guy that we made once again an effort from a high school standpoint to get more athletic with our offensive line. And Brandon's got great parents, great family, fits in perfectly here for us. And he's a guy that you'll see us continue to, whether he redshirts or not, be a guy that will be a mainstay here for the next 4 and 5 years. Isaiah's a guy that has been loyal to us in the recruiting process. Came to camp a couple times. Plays a great high school program. Very, he's going to replace G-Wade from energy level, from a talent level, and you're going to see him. I know what kind of leadership he brings to our program, and he did a great job, communicating with this recruiting class. He's got tremendous leadership skills. We obviously think he's a great player with his burst and with his ball skills and different things he can do out of the backfield. But the thing that sticks out to me of Isaiah is his wanting to be a Skyhawk, wanting to be a part of this program, wanting to take this program, to some levels we haven't been to before. I'm very excited to get him and his family here with us. Malcolm was a guy to where when we went into this recruiting process, didn't know depth-wise, did we need a guard? We knew we needed a center. We knew we wanted to, add a tackle. But as you watch Malcolm, when his athleticism at the guard spot, you felt like you couldn't do without him. You felt like he was going to be able to come in here and compete for a starting position immediately with his athleticism. You know, his Steve Buckley, his head coach at Jones Junior College, had nothing but great things to say about him as a player and as a person, and his smile lights up the room when he walks in. We're very excited about the next 2 years with Malcolm. John's is a quarterback actually from Ellisville, Mississippi, from my high school. Okay, so played on the same field as I played. I've known his mom and dad, you know, since my teenage years. So long history with the family, but very, very athletic. John's a 6'2", 6'3" guy that can run, but still learn how to play the quarterback position. His best football is ahead of him. He can do a lot of things for this football program, but he will come in as the only freshman high school quarterback that we're bringing into our program. I'm excited to see his growth, but he's a guy that he'd probably be the most, since Khalid Hagen's be the most athletic quarterback that we've had in our program. Matt's is a big human being. He's a big man. Best football's ahead of him. I don't know if Matt really knows how good he can be. We think he's going to be an outstanding OVC offensive lineman, especially at the tackle position with his length and his size. He's the biggest offensive lineman we signed this year from a high school standpoint, but we feel like he still has the athleticism and the lateral movement to grow into an outstanding OVC tackle. He's the only mid-year junior college wide receiver we're bringing in. Vontae Howard's a good player for us here, kind of a glue guy for us. We think that Odom's going to be able to do that for us. Played at Independence Community College, but he's from the Nashville area, so we've known him since he was a high school player. Very fast, not the biggest guy in the world, but very, very, very tough, and he's a good football player that's going to help us in the slot position with Terry Williams being a senior. Zach is a bigger back that we've been following ever since the spring. Very physical. I mean, there's some games that he had over 30 carries for his high school team. You know, that's a lot of carries for a high school kid, but very, very durable. He's a bigger back than I'm used to. You know, he runs like he's 225 pounds, even though he's not quite that heavy. He has a great body lean. He's able to finish runs, and he's a guy that we're going to be pretty young at the running back group. But he's a guy that may have a chance to figure in the group going forward. We made a decision that we needed a center to come in here at the break and compete for the starting job. And Cordell's a guy that he's a 6'2.5", 6'3" guy with long arms and great character and a good student and great family. And we think he's got a chance to come in here and compete for the starting job.